All right. So, hey, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Last week, um, we looked at some of the key issues that you can encounter in a e-commerce business on some of the areas, right? Um, Today we're going to look at uh, how to build an e-commerce application. What takes, right? I mean, we all do. Uh, we buy stuff from different online stores like Amazon or eBay. Um, but if you really wanted to build or you need to understand different sections of it, how it would work, right? So today we're gonna look at that. Uh, let me uh, let me start with showing you something. I'm gonna share my screen. All right. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's think of any e-commerce site. Um, Before you log in, what you have is uh, what is called landing page. Okay. So these are the industry terms. So if somebody say, hey, what is a landing page? Which means first time you visit this site, let's say eBay. I haven't logged into this site. I look at it and you can see it says my eBay, but let's say if I look at the shopping cart and everything, it says empty. eBay is pretty not very good site, to be honest, because it doesn't have really, I mean, good interfaces compared to Amazon. Um, so it says, please sign in, which means I'm not logged in, right? So what you have is pretty much um, it has some products, okay, um, on on the landing page. But remember, before you log in, uh, this is called a public site. Okay. Do you know what a difference between a public site and a logged in experience? Any ideas there? What's the difference between a public site and a logged in experience?
The logged in one's tailored to your preferences.
Yeah, tailored to your preferences, plus you're logged in, which means it has your information in it, right? Uh, it will have your credit card information or um, your address, um, the things you purchased, right? Which if I just look at eBay, um, without logging in, I don't get any of that, right? Especially when you do it for first time. After that, I think it uses cookies and stuff like that. But first time you do it, So this is a landing page. Okay. Um, Now there are some, and usually websites, uh, they have two separate team working on it. So the people who build this site, this part of the things, is a different team than the team who works on a logged in experience, right? Because you're dealing with the um, you know private data of customer. Um, you can still search for things. You'll pretty much get everything, right? That you can, but it's still a public site. Okay. Um, so some of the pages when you build it, ignore a lot of things, right? You do want to you do want to put some popular products on this page, on this public page, um, because you don't even know the customer very well, right? Because the customer hasn't signed in, so you don't really know what they want. So what you do is you put most popular stuff. Now, I don't know why they decided to put shoes here. That's beyond shoes must mean very hot items on on eBay. I don't know. But if you don't have a lot of items, you just fill this page with some of the best products that you have, or more popular products, right? Okay. If you go at the bottom, you would see some of the main pages you want is like a company info. So traditionally you put everything at the bottom and then what they call footer. So somebody wants to know, okay, what is this company? So they can click on this company info, and then it has some information, usually, if you build your website, you can see they're also obsessed with the shoes somehow, whatever. When you build your own website, this page would be, something like, we are really passionate about this. We will build this, to make this change or this passion, whatnot, right? So you kind of convince that they should buy it from here, right? If you have some environmental impact on the world and whatnot, you can use that. So you put some sort of data here, like how many products you have, who's your leader, like your founder, his story, and things like that. Maybe you put an address here as well. Okay. But because it's a very popular site, it's colluded with lots of other information. But if you build something, make it very simple, right? The problem with these companies is it evolves so much that they have so many things. I think less things is better when you start a new company. You'll also have a contact us. This is kind of very important piece of information, right? So just in case if they are confused about something, for example, let's say you want to return, is any fees associated with returning, and so you put some of your policies here, right? And your information, how to reach out in case they need to. All right. So that's that. So yeah, you have a landing page, you have about page, you have a contact us page, and then usually there are policies. So depends on the product, right? So let's look at the policies. I would not worry about this page right away, but there are some, you can always copy paste some of the other companies' policies, like user agreement, like when you go to a shop, like a physical shop, you would have this, we have right to not serve you, you know, um, wash your hands, all of these things, right? The capacity of this place is 120 people or something, right? So just in case there's a rowdy crowd coming in, they know exactly how to point them to say, okay, you get out of here. And they have some other, cookie policies, right? Which is very important. So anyone know what a cookie is?
I think it's the stuff that gets stored to help sites run.
Yeah, so cookie is basically what happens is that um, the website can remember on your computer what you've looked at. For example, okay, let's go here. So this morning I was teaching the same class for the high school students, and for browsing, I clicked on this shoes, right? And it says, you recently viewed this item. Now, how do they know that I viewed this item? Okay. So what they did, they set a cookie. Okay. I'll show you how to find the cookie. So if you go in your browser, if you right click on the browser, there's something called inspect. Now, it depends on your browser. It will be a different location, but mostly you will have some sort of inspector. Okay. And then there'll be something, you'll see a bunch of tabs here. And one of the tabs is going to be application. And you'll see something like cookie right here. You see this cookie called eBay? Right? So it dropped a cookie. What's inside is, they can put whichever product you were looking at, it can put that information, whatever information they wanted to put. So next time you log in, they don't have to remember, because you haven't yet, you have yet to subscribe or enroll in the application, right? Which means they don't have any information about you. So they're not gonna remember everything. They're just gonna remember that you visited on your computer. So next time, let's say you visited, looked at some shoes, it knows that you looked at the shoes, right? So that's what you're looking at here. Okay. Okay. So let's any question, right? So what happens when you load the page, it looks at, and cookies are actually website specific, which means if I'm at eBay, I can only see the cookie that I've created, right? If I open Amazon, then there will be cookies associated with Amazon. Right? So I can only see Amazon cookies. So that's how the cookies work. But anyway, the what I was saying is the cookie policies were Europe has different policies about cookies than America. America, we have, they store everything. So for example, you're looking at something else and then they store the information. So it's almost like a stealing your information. There's some tricks. So Europeans are more stricter. So they'll ask you for your permission that, hey, I'm gonna look at certain things. I'm gonna drop something on your computer. Is it okay? Right? Most time you just say no. But in US, there's no law. Yes, there is this page for storing that information. So just in case, if you sue them, then they can say, well, we told you that this was our policy. We drop cookies everywhere, or crumbs in this case, right? Any questions on this one? Right. So this is experience before you log in. All right. Okay, what happens once you log in? So once you log in, there are how many pages? So you have a login page. So let's look at login page. What if I click on here and sign in? Okay. So this is called sign in page. Okay. So what happened in the signing page is it is possible that you don't have account with eBay. So it asks you, hey, do you have account? If you don't have an account, you can create one. So you can go here. If you already have an account, then you can just continue with the login, right? So you have two pages. One is create account. So if I go create account, somehow it's very slow. Okay, so this is the create account. Okay, where you can go and create accounts. Another one would be, and this is called login account, and you can also log in with your Facebook and Google. Do you know how that works? Anyone know how that works? So if I click on here, what happens? Sign in with Google.
Takes you to Google.
It doesn't really takes you Google, but what it does is most people, they either logged in on their computer using Gmail, right? Or their Facebook, or they may have Apple ID, right? So it's saying, okay, if you're already logged into your computer, so you can see this is my, I'm already logged into this computer using my Gmail or this browser, right? So what happens? There's something called single sign-on. Okay. So if I click on here, what it would do is so Google would, it will basically is telling Google to see if I have an account already. So if I already have an account, if I'm logged in, it will say, hey, you are logged in with this account. Do you want to give eBay permission to use that as your login credential, right? So what eBay will say on their side that, oh, this guy is using Google with this account. That's it. So you don't really have to create an account with eBay or anything. You just use your Gmail account to log in a way, right? Or you can create your own account by clicking here, and then you enter your email and all that stuff, right? So you have two pages: login page and then sign in page. What other pages you would need here? What if you don't remember your password, right? So let's say if I click on continue after sending my email, and it says, oh, enter the password, and I enter the password, and it looks like it's not available. So what happens is that um,
I had this like exact problem like a couple days ago, and it took my entire day away. So
really?
interesting to hear you talking about it.
So I'll tell you how to deal with it, by the way, uh, to protect against this kind of situation. So first of all, you will have what is it called? The reset your password page. Okay, where all you do is just you provide your email address and it just resets the password for you. Okay, so that's the third page. But what you want to do is actually just a trick. It's outside this course, but just a trick. The problem with the password management is that we have, I don't know about you, but I have at least 100 to 150 different accounts, right? You have Amazon, I've also switched a lot of jobs. I have at least 4 or 5 email accounts and all of that. That becomes hard to manage, right? How are you going to remember all the passwords? So what I do is, for passwords, I do something like this. So, and you can pick your own. So usually a lot of websites have, they require you to have a number. So pick a number between 1 and 9. So let's say I pick 2. Okay. Then you pick one special character. Okay. A special character would be like a and or percentage or something, right? Okay. And then you would take your whichever website that you are looking at. Let's say you're looking at eBay. So you can just take maybe first 3. You can pick how you want to do this, right? So eBay is EBAY, right? So what you can do is say, okay, I'm always gonna take the first letter, which is E, and the last letter, which is Y, of any website. So if it's Amazon, right, and then it's gonna be A and N. Okay. If it's eBay, it's gonna be E and Y, right? Then you have your own password, and which you can define. Let's say my password is, I don't know, FDSA. This is, you have to remember, right? So anytime you create a new account, all you have to remember is this part. That's your password. Okay. And make your password longer and long enough so that it will support, because usually most website at least require not 8 or 9 characters, right? So this way, I never remember any password. All I do is I have this mechanism. So I know for Amazon is going to be, let's say, 2% AN and whatever my password is, right? That's it. So doesn't matter what it is. Don't use the same password for two websites. You know why? You never use the same password to websites. What's a drawback?
Getting hacked.
Yes, you can get majorly hacked. I tell you how you get hacked. Let's say some guy creates a website, okay, that looks like eBay, all right, and he sends you this invitation on your email saying, hey, you know what, your product has arrived doing something, right? Can you take a look? So instead of going to eBay, you click on a link, and the whole website looks like eBay, just like this. So what do? First thing you do is you enter your email, then you enter your password. What they do is capture that on their side. So now they have your email and password, right, on their side. And then what they'll do, they'll try Amazon with the same credential. They'll try your bank, Bank of America. One of them would work out, right? Most of them would fail, but one of them would work out. So if you use the same password and username, they can get into all of your accounts. So never use the same password and I would suggest if you do banking, always have a separate email address for banking that you never use for any other things. So like if you want to get some coupon or something, right? You have a special email address. Let's say Anna, let's say, so you would create an email address called Anna's coupon email or something at gmail.com, right? Which means all the junk email goes there, right? So it never mix the same email. You might have to look, and also this way you keep the banking email clean. So I always have one for banking, one for personal, which I share with my friends and family. One for like my students, one for work, and then one for junk. So FYI. Okay, so that's that. So we looked at two things, right? We looked at the public side with landing page, about page, and all that stuff. Then the login experience where you have a login page. Then you have change password and create account page, right? Then the next set of things would be once you log in, what happens? So once you log in, let's say I logged into Amazon. So this is my Amazon account. Okay. So what's the difference? So this is called a shop. Now I'm logged in, which means everything that I have here, it's based on customized, right? As if I bought some slippers or something. It might have some other stuff that I try to buy, but I haven't bought, right? And it will have something, my preferences and all that stuff stored. So from here, there are two things. You can search, right? And then you can basically searching, or let's say if I search phone cases for iPhone, I don't know, 13. Okay. So what do you get? this is your store. You search on it and then you get a specific search result. So this is a search page. This is where you can filter stuff on your search, so you have a filter on the right side and then products on the, filters on the left side and a product on the right side, right? What happens when I click on here? So let's say if I click on this guy. Now this is my product page because I am now looking at this specific product. That's it. Everything about on this page is about this product, right? You have the picture, description, also name, description, price, options, I can pick colors and stuff like that. When you're building it, you don't have to go that detail. You could have like a color option or something, but otherwise, make it pretty straightforward, right? And then in the end, you will add to cart, right? So we looked at the shop page, search page, and the product page. Shop page is basically when you log in, whatever you see is your shop, right? Search is when you search on specific product, you will have all the product related to that. And then product pages, if you click on an individual one, this is what you get. Any questions? Okay, so from here, you can do two things, right? You can do add to cart or buy now. Most of the times, people would, what's the difference between add to cart and a buy now is buy now, especially with Amazon. If you build your own site, initially you're not gonna have buy now directly. You just let it add to cart. Things get added into the cart, then you can browse it and then make a decision whether you want to keep it or not, right? So let's if I do add to cart. Okay. And then this page even still, it's an interesting page. Usually it's supposed to show you it used to be that you directly go to the cart. But in this case, it says, okay, you know what? You bought this one. Do you want to buy some more stuff similar to this? So this is like a before, it's like almost like a suggestion page. Similar to previous page, not the product page, but like a search page, right? So it gives you all the products similar to what you bought, but it's a little different. I think only Amazon does this. And then you go to checkout, right? So this is checkout page. Again, these are my personal information, so I'm kind of going to avoid that. But in a checkout page, a cart page, you'll have your how do I say, your things that you picked, and then option to pay, right? Any questions? So this is how it works, right? Your website, now we categorize into 4 different things. A public page, the login page, login, create account, reset password. Then your shop pages would be your shop, the search, the product page. And then I would consider the cart as a separate, right? Cart and then checkout experience is a separate. Because if you think of, right, in the shop page, you have all the products and its information. Checkout, you've already made the decision what you're gonna buy. So it's just a payment process, right? Login, it's only logging information. There's no product associated with that page, though you could. And then the landing page is all before you make your decision, right? So this is how pretty much any e-commerce website that you would come across, you would pretty much see the same pattern. They might differ, depends on, you know, what it is, but you will have the same thing in a way, right? And yes, you'll have advertisement as well, but yeah. Okay, so if you guys already picked your project, right, the next step would be to kind of create a design. I wouldn't say like a design of the like what you're gonna have, but just create a idea of pages. What pages you're gonna have on your project. So you can say, okay, I'm gonna have a landing page and I'm gonna show, let's say if you're selling hats. So I'm gonna show some most popular hats on this. Okay. I'm gonna have a login page. Maybe you decide not to have your own create, or you just use the Google or Facebook links, right? So that's one less. In that case, you don't even need a reset the password page, right? Then in the logged in experience, you'll have a shop where you put, based on what user has previously looked at. Product page would have, images, description, whatnot. You decide what you want to do, right? And then you have a checkout page. And then checkout, think about payment options, your address and all that stuff, right? But it should be based on what you're trying to sell, right? So think about what exactly you want to sell and just create it, all the pages and what content you're going to have in your page. This is the step before you start designing your application. Okay. And next week, so I'll give you the homework based on that by end of today. It will be pretty much building that. And again, if you are seeing some homework that I haven't given, ignore it. It's showing up because as I said, I imported some previous course and I didn't realize that it had scheduled homework. So just spinning the homework automatically. So you can ignore that. I'll send a message separately that these homeworks you don't have to do, and I'll remove for the future ones. I'll remove, so you don't see it. I don't know how is it getting in, but yeah. And then next week we'll start thinking about if you want to build this kind of a website or web application, how you go about, right? What are the first of all, two things. One is what requires to build this application. That's the first thing, right? That we're going to discuss next week. And then week after that, we'll look at how do we actually utilize what's already existing. Because, let's say you want to build, you have a really skill, or you found some idea and you want to sell some t-shirts or something, right? What you do is, instead of building your own store from scratch, if 10 years ago somebody said, oh, can you build a store? It would take me at least, I don't know, 6 months to build something like this, in a minimum way. I would have to hire at least 3-4 guys to build this. Nowadays, I can build this in 2 days. With minimum cost, right? Because there are some options available. So we're going to discuss what are these options. Anybody can create their store nowadays, which is really great, right? Okay. So I think that's it, folks. Any questions?
hold on. What if like the product I'm trying to sell like is just going to be like on eBay or on Etsy or something like that, like not an actual website, but just use like a different with storefront.
Oh, did I show you Shopify last time?
Yeah, they'll think actually. No, I just want. No, it's just I'm asking because you said like for the homework assignment, you're just going to create the whatchamacallit, the landing page or like the login page or something, or create pages, something like that.
Yeah, so exactly, you don't build the pages, you just write down that I'm gonna have page A, which is gonna be a landing page. What are you gonna see inside? So let's say, I don't know which project you picked, but let's say if your project is selling, I don't know, cell phones covers, then you said, okay, I'm gonna see my most popular 5 popular covers on that page, right? Five designs. And so, there's no right or wrong answer. It just depends on what product are you're trying to sell, right? You just build it. Because what I want you to do is really concretely think about what you're trying to build before you build it, right? Because what happens is a lot of people just skip a couple of steps and start building something complex without even thinking, right? So what you want to do is take one step at a time. Think about how your product's going to look like, visualize that, and then build the pages. You might make certain decisions, say, but I don't want to do this, I don't want to, and look at different sites, not only Amazon. I don't know, let's say I want to buy some soap, right? There's so many. Let's say buy soap. I'm just randomly picking some website, right? Okay, so let's look at something kind of unique. Okay, let's look at this guy. Okay, I've never visited this website, but let's look at this. Pacha Soap Company. All right. Okay. So you're gonna find this company much simpler because you see it doesn't have all the kind of a junk that Amazon has. It's much cleaner, right? So this is how you want to think about. This is the landing page, right? Look at how clean it is. It just
You should
You're
probably
not
share
oh
share
sorry.
screen.
Okay,
It's so polished.
it is. It's almost nothing there. All right. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I just Googled a product, a soap, and this came about, right? It was kind of fancy, so I thought, okay, maybe. So this came about. Some guy is making, I guess, handmade soap. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. I would want to buy it. But this is a landing page. So think of this landing page. Again, I want you to be really creative, right? So I would say, this is my landing page. What do I have on this page? So I have some sort of a scroller, and you can actually be more explicit on what do you want to do. I'm going to have a scroller where it automatically scrolls some of my products, and maybe has a theme, like a fall theme, right? So I'm just looking at it, I'm just mesmerized by it. Oh, this looks cool, right? Then I have something say, oh, what's new? Let's say if I'm a regular user, oh, I can see, oh, what's new? This looks pretty cool, right? And then I have, some of the why do I want to buy this? Natural ingredient, vitamin rich, no animal testing and whatnot, right? And then you have some other products, and but you can see it's much simpler in that sense, right? Then you can look at the login experience. It's very simple, right? And it also has this pages, right, which terms and condition, which is their policies, right? Contact information, right? How do I reach them? They have the address, right? So this is instead of looking at Amazon, you might want to look at something like this, which is much more simpler. And you can even find even simpler than this. Okay, you know exactly where they're located. Let's look at how much money they make. Transfer company. I don't know. Income. All right, let's look at this. That's pretty cool. So everything is on the web these days. I'm not a robot, obviously. All right. They're making $4.3 million every year. Okay, selling soaps. Project Soap Company has 37 employees, and the revenue per employee is 116,000. Okay. Yeah. So you can see the competition. Who's the competition, right? All these companies are competition to this, and you can look at their revenues, right? So this Curation Foods makes $470 million a year. Kick, I don't know. See, most of them you probably haven't heard, but this is the new thing, right? You'll see so much money is being made on this e-commerce business because people are buying online, looking at, once I know that, oh, there's something like this available, I would buy this kind of soap, right? If it's healthy, you know. I don't know about the price though. Let's see. How much is the price? Do I buy $7 a piece? I think I would, because nowadays if you go to a store, yeah, it's it's uh it's very expensive regardless, right? Is it the one soap or three soaps? I don't know. Maybe you can give a gift or something. I don't know. So it's pretty cool site. But anyway, that's the idea, right? Did I answer your question or?
Yeah, I think that answers it.
Okay. Okay. I would suggest everyone to think in terms of whatever you do, right? One of the regrets I have, I mean, I'm pretty old, but one of the regrets I have is never starting something of my own. And I think back in the days it wasn't available, right? But if you work really hard, you can make a lot of money by just doing something. And if you're passionate about something, you can always take it to a next level.
So I guess I have a question. My idea is it's a multifaceted website, so it's not totally focused around like e-commerce specifically, but that is a parameter of it.
Okay.
So I mean, I always bite off more than I probably should. But
So in
I
that case,
do I just like, have that e-commerce part in there, but like
no.
put
You do whatever needs to be done for your website. For example, let's say if you build a social media platform,
uh-huh.
which has nothing to do with e-commerce. Well, in a way, it's an e-commerce, because you're gonna, if you look at Facebook, they make more money than anyone else nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, just selling air, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so like the actual site is my
Yeah.
product,
So
essentially.
think about what is the competition.
Okay.
So look at those websites and then kind of get inspired from it.
Okay.
and then build based on that. And you can add your flavor to it as well.
Okay. Cool. I got one friend to agree to my survey.
All right, there you go. One,
Excellent.
and the two is a crowd, remember? So
Maybe I'll have 3 before the day is over. So,
yeah, you have Anna here, right? So ask her.
yeah, I could send it to Anna too if
It's the thing,
you
and
want.
Anna, you have one more person, so if you want to ask, I'm sure it's
Yeah, I'll put my email in the chat, and if you have a survey you want to send me, Anna, I'll take it. There it is.
and that's another thing, right? When you start a business, uh, you need to take some risk. You need to be really, uh, if you're too shy, you can't really run a business, right? You have to really do whatever is necessary. Approach people, ask for help, all of these, right? So that's part of it. But yeah, cool. Yeah, so I mean, web is your guide, you can just go out and look at anything that is available on the web, and then see the product you have is matching your um, something similar, and then get inspired by it. And then copying is okay. See, a lot of people are like, oh, this chat GPT and all this AI, people copying each other. I think it's fine. At the end of the day, we all copy, right? How we take that and then make it better is our responsibility. So, okay. Yeah, so Anna said that, yeah, you can send email. Okay. Yeah, you can post your email and then you guys can.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So you guys know how to connect, right? So,
Yeah, I think so. Thanks, Emil.
all right, no problem. Yeah. Have a good weekend, and
You too.
yeah, I'll see you next week.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.